We'll get going. So hi everyone, I'm Chef Dennis and we are at the World Food Championships for round 2 of our behind the scenes interviews, and I'm with Mike McCloud. He is the CEO of the World Food Championship.
That is the correct pronunciation, I think.
The correct
the
CEO.
CEO.
CEO, okay, yeah, I can never tell sometimes. I like to call myself the CEO of Ask Chef Dennis, but ultimately that doesn't mean a lot for my company because it's kind of small, but yours is kind of massive.
We took the concept of March Madness, turned it into Munch Madness. We took Super Bowl, turned it into a big bowl. We took a lot of sports metaphors and sports ideology and put it into a food tournament. And for consumers, it could be called a mouth party, but for competitors, it's the biggest, baddest competition on the planet. There's $350,000 up for grabs, 9 categories, 342 teams, 1,100 contestants involved. So it's actually a pretty big deal.
It is. And I love that it's here in Celebration. And this is, I don't know how your venue was in Vegas because I never made it out there, but this looks perfect to me. The way the street is set up, the tents, you got some amazing equipment here. Some of your sponsors just really rock the house.
Well, we couldn't do this without 2 really incredible partners of ours. Kenmore, who provides us all the appliances that we need for Kenmore Kitchen Arena, and Bull Outdoor Products, which they provide all the grills that we need for the burger category, the bacon category. So between those 2 and probably another 30, 40 companies that are involved, from digital scoring to potatoes for infusion to challenge butter and on and on and on. We have some of the best food brands and food companies in the space involved in the World Food Championships.
It's unbelievable. I mean, I came out here Thursday morning while you were still setting up, or was it Wednesday? I lose track of days. I've been traveling a lot, but I came out when you were still setting it up before it started, so it must have been prior to then. And I just couldn't believe that you moved this much equipment in here.
It was a Herculean effort. We have numerous vendors, lots of local partners, Experience Kissimmee and the town of Celebration, Lexan, all of those people really cleared a lot of paths for us so that our vendors could get in here and create this Super Bowl of food over about a 72-hour period. So pretty amazing what it looks like right now and what it looked like about a week ago. You lose track of days. I've lost track of months because it feels like we've been here for about a month just setting up.
Wow, I can believe it. I've gone around to some of your events and I've seen you have really cool people here. There's the Canadian Championship is here too.
Yeah, the Canadians have come into force and they are doing very, very well. 4 of them moved on to the finals last night. We announced the top 10 in 4 categories last night. So, but we have people from all over the world. We have 17 countries represented right now, and we have great vendors that set up in Tasting Village, so you can taste a little bit of everything from new products coming on to the market that aren't out there yet to just excellent products right now that people buy in the grocery store. So from that to the World Cocktail Experience that we have every night, I just, if you don't like food, you don't like fun, then this is not the place to be.
And if you don't like food and you don't like fun, I would check your pulse.
They shouldn't be listening to you right now.
No, they shouldn't be listening to anybody, really. They should be in a cubicle somewhere.
That's right.
Doing day trading or something. I don't know what. But anyway, no, food and fun. I mean, and the sunshine. We're in Florida.
That's right. That's right. We've been very blessed so far. It's been perfect weather. It's been a little muggy. I was concerned how that was going to go over in the dessert category the other day, but the contestants did an extremely good job of turning in 2 wonderful dishes. They had in that preliminary round, they have to turn in a structured dish so that we level the playing field, and that was cupcakes and dessert. And then they turn in their signature dish, which is whatever they won somewhere else with to get into the tournament.
Gotcha.
So we took the scores from both of those dishes and added it all up using the EAT methodology, which is based on execution, appearance, and taste. And then we came out with the top 10 of that field, and those 10 will battle for the World Dessert Championship tomorrow.
I gotta love that. And I love how you talked about giving the names, making it more of a Super Bowl. You have the cheferee.
Yeah, we do have 2 cheferees, and they're the biggest guys that I could find in food. And they're both bulky,
they're both big guys,
and they're loud, and you don't want to get in their way.
No.
So I haven't seen them throw a yellow flag yet.
Do they have flags?
Maybe. Actually, we have red flags because if you interfere with something, you get DQ'd. You don't get here if you don't get to the finish line before the timer goes down, you get DQ'd.
Yeah.
You don't get a warning. It's like the end of a football game. There are no more seconds when the clock hits 0. So that's why we need referees.
Yeah, and there is no sudden death overtime.
That's right.
It's right to the wire. You better well make it, and you better put your best foot forward. And I was watching some of that food come through yesterday, and they were coming in. Most of them were done minutes ahead of time.
They were. They have a 10-minute window they can turn in. And we always try to tell them there's no advantage to being last, because as soon as we get the dishes, we renumber them. It's blind judging process. We take them into the judges' tables as soon as we can, get them on the plates, because we know there's ice cream, there's heat involved, so we want that to be as fresh as the chef wanted it to be when it hits the judges' palate. So it's better to plan to turn in early than it is late.
Yeah, I would think so. Plus a peace of mind. If nothing else, then you can take a breath, you can relax and move on, because if you win, you got to move on tomorrow.
That's right. They've got about 24 hours to figure out what they're going to do in the next round,
and they can't repeat.
No. It's all 3 different dishes. If they get to the top 10, they do what we call an infused ingredient. For example, we're using Florida strawberries in one of our categories, so they'll have to do that in the top 10. We'll use Bubba burgers in burgers to do a special patty melt. So we're finding fun ways to integrate food into a sporting event. So it's pretty interesting. If anybody loves food TV or reality TV, there's nothing like seeing it in living color right here in Celebration, the heart of Kissimmee in Central Florida.
Gotta love it. And there's been people lined up watching, and they are just they're up at the gates, and then you see people sitting back watching too. And it's amazing how many people come out to witness this thing live. Food TV has really taken hold in this country, and people live for it. People I would never even think were watching that have now, they're subscribing to all these dives or to watch favorite chef on TV. So food is where we're hitting home. It's that one that ties us all together. Be able to come out and watch this dish live.
So it's interesting you say that, because we call it eatertainment.
Love it.
And we think that everyone loves it because it's attainable and it's achievable. This is the World Food Championships is this possible springboard for the next Guy Fieri. You mentioned his show, or the next Rachel Ray, or the next Kari Karch, who I know you're interviewing here shortly. So this gives everyone a home chef who's great at desserts, or great at bacon, or great at something, a chance to prove their chops. Come out here, mix it up with the best in the business. They can walk away with $10,000 if they win their category, go on to the final table, and possibly win $100. So there's not anything else out there, unless you have a Hollywood agent who can put you on food TV. This is the way that you get on to TV as a food celebrity.
And it also gives you an opportunity to show that you have what it takes. Because you may think you do all this time, and this is a do or die situation.
Listen, it's pressure packed.
Yeah,
it is high intensity. When that clock gets down to about 30 seconds, and you haven't turned your dish in yet, you have to create 3 dishes. We make sure that you bring a signature build. It's a great dish, and then you do an infusion, and then you do a structured. So you can't fake it till you make it. You have to make it through this program, and when you do, you end up with a lot of money in your pocket, and you end up with a lot of cameras in your face. So it's a pretty cool deal.
And you've had some pretty good winners coming up in the past. I mean, I was talking about last year's winner and the way where he came from.
Yeah, Ricardo Heredia, if we have time, he came off the streets and he went into culinary, and it pretty much saved his life. And he became an executive chef, came into our championship in 2014, and won bacon for the 2nd year in a row. So he's good at what he does. And then he went on to the final table and beat out Team Bull by half a point to win $100,000. And there was $90,000 difference versus in second.
Yes.
So Wade Fortin was just hoping for an extra half a point at that moment. But the big upset of the tournament is Heredia got knocked out last night.
No way.
He did not even make the top 10. He's had a tough week. About a week ago, he actually got mugged in his hometown, and he had to have a little surgery done, and he was not going to be denied. He was coming here, but he was not at 100%. We're just proud of him for many, many reasons. He set up a foundation last year to help get kids off the street, and we asked him how you feel, and he said, you know what, I feel sorry for the other person because karma will come back to them.
Absolutely.
And he was here to compete. He did the best that he could, but unfortunately, he got knocked out last night.
Well, it opens it up for someone else to do it, and you never know where that road's going to lead, because maybe that person's going to win and set something up and do more good like he did.
But it means we're going to have a new world champion. We've had a new world champion every year. This is our 4th year. 3 people have won so far. The ultimate final table. It's come from 3 different categories: sandwich, dessert, and bacon. So there's 6 other categories that I know a lot of contestants are hoping to pull a victory in.
What's your favorite category?
I can't have a favorite.
Okay, like a
CEO,
child.
My favorite is whenever I'm in the judges' room and I get to graze.
Yes.
Whatever it is, because it's all great. Whether it's bacon, dessert, barbecue. I actually cut my teeth on barbecue, and I, my heart goes out to the barbecue guys and women, because I've worked with them for 10 years. That's what led to the World Food Championships, because I realized what was happening in the food sport with bacon battles and burger battles and sandwich slams. But every dish that I see turned in this process is just a phenomenal dish. So it's hard to have a favorite.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't have been able to pick. When I'm watching them and go by, I'm going, I want that. And I want
that.
And I want that. And I want that. It's like, I just want, it's like a buffet of wonderfulness.
I was going to call it a smorgasbord.
Smorgasbord, yeah. That was
you're right. You're right.
Oh, it's just really, and the people are the nicest. I went around and talked to them. Nobody snubbed me. Nobody didn't have time for me. Everybody said hello, told me what they were making.
This is like real sports. You see quarterbacks at the end of the game walking up to each other, finding each other in the crowd, shaking hands, and each other about the kids and the family. And that's what happens with the athletes. This is almost like a World Food Championship homecoming every year, because people meet people. They go into to business together. They become best friends. They join food groups together. So it's very special to see the passion and compassion in this industry. I'll share one last little story. A competitor for the first time was looking for little turn-in cups the other night, and he was sharing. Some person walked up behind him and said, "Are you in the World Food Championships?" And he said, "Yes, I am." "Why?" He said, "You don't want those cups." And he said, "Why?" He said, "Because they won't fit on the turn-in tray." It was another competitor actually helping a competitor pick out cups that would fit the turn-in tray.
Wow.
I mean, he didn't have to do that.
No.
So it's another great little story of the compassion of food sport athletes throughout the country.
But like you said, it comes back to you. I mean, that act of kindness will be returned to you some way.
That's right.
And you got to think about that. As a chef in the early years, you were guarding your recipes. You never wanted to share them. But as time goes on, I see a lot more people willing to share their expertise, share their knowledge. The fear has kind of gone from someone who's going to supplant you. So you want to be nice and make friends.
Well, it's funny you say that. I feel like we're pulling the curtain back on TV scenario, but we not only ask them to come out here and put their best, we ask them for recipes. Yeah. They have to turn in their recipes, the ingredients they use. They have to tell us what they're aiming for. Our judges, using the execution and the EAT methodology, determine, is that a 10 dish I've ever had, or a 1 because you didn't execute well. So we take all that data, put it into a database, and then show it to the judges when they need to see it.
Amazing. I was at about your scoring system and how it's down to like 100th of a point, and the difference is astounding.
Well, like last year, our champion won by 0.05 of a point, and our scoring system takes it up to 100. And I think it was like a 95.6875 versus a 95.6375.
Wow!
It goes 4 decimals deep. We have 9 tiebreakers. There's no way there can be a tie, because it goes to a digital coin toss in the system if necessary.
Wow.
So someone comes out a winner. There are no ties in food sport.
There are no ties. There's no crying in food sport either. It's the first rule of food sport.
That's right.
Well, thank you very much. It's been very informative. I appreciate
you
having me here and taking the time out of your day. I know you're busy.
I appreciate you having me, and I would wish you good luck in finding some good food, but I think you're going to have...
I don't think there's going to be any shortage.
You won't have any trouble doing that.
No, there's no shortage of good food.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And thanks, everyone, for joining. We're expecting. All right. Come on down. So we'll just switch seats.
All right. That's great.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
My pleasure. All right. So we're having some fun here. And we are going to talk to Kari Karch.
Hello.
Hi. Very nice to meet you.
Pleasure. Nice to meet at you.
And you are the Chi-Town chef.
I am not shy, that's for
No,
sure.
you're not shy. Well, that's good. No, not shy,
I am
Chi-Town.
the Chi-Town chef, correct.
Great. And you were here for Kenmore?
Yes, I'm the executive chef and spokesperson for Kenmore. So we are out of Chicago, Illinois, and we are down here with our third year with the World Food Championships, being the main sponsor with the Kenmore Kitchen Coliseum, taking over the entire main street of Celebration, Florida. Hope we're not imposing.
Oh, you guys rocked it. And I have never seen it look so nice. Even when they put the fake snow and the cutting, you know what they ice skate on cutting boards here in the wintertime?
Oh, really?
We have 4x8 sheets of those cutting boards that they lay down to make an ice rink because you can skate on it.
That's amazing.
I know.
What time of year is that?
That's in December.
Oh, so it's 90 degrees,
well,
but you can ice skate.
Yeah, well, it's not usually not 90. It has been. Sometimes it drops down to 60. You know, we get we need a jacket sometimes at 60.
Melting out here right
It's
now.
hot.
Was just doing some demo. You know, thought process of November, fall, holidays coming up. Thinking, let's make some beautiful, warm, hot soup in the middle of 90 degrees, but it worked out well, so everybody liked it. So.
I know every now and then we go into a restaurant, my wife loves soup, and she'll say, what kind of soup do you have? And I'll go, ma'am, this is Florida. We don't eat a lot of soup.
Don't you crave soup sometimes?
Oh, yeah.
I do.
Oh,
I do.
Yeah. Soup is a comfort food.
It is.
And it's, what is your favorite comfort food?
Oh, favorite comfort food, mac and cheese.
Oh, yeah.
If they had a mac and cheese category for the World Food Championships, are you kidding me? You know how many people would be like, I got this.
I think they may have to add that.
I think so. Maybe I could talk to Mike McCloud on that. Yeah. Think, you know, hey, if you want our little Kenmore refrigerators next year, maybe we do a mac and cheese.
I'm sure they could find a good cheese sponsor too.
Sure.
I know a few myself. But I love your equipment. I came in here and I was trying to remember what day it was. I've been doing a lot of traveling, but I think it was Tuesday afternoon and they were unloading all this equipment. And I was blown away.
Yes. I mean, we have 50 stations, 50 stoves, 50 refrigerators, 1 million appliances, cookware. We've supplied everything to help a champion win $100,000 this year. And, you know, believe it or not, these guys are so good. There's not been one power outage, one problem with electricity. They are so good at knowing how to rig this up every year. And it boggles my mind with that much electricity going, you know, like Vegas down Celebration Main Street right there with that amount of electricity. But you know, these competitors, this year was the first year we had them go through a training course to actually properly use our equipment because, you know, everybody could say, hey, I know how to use this stove, but then, you know, this one we have turbo boil. What does that mean? That means we're going to take you from 0 to 60 in just a couple of minutes to get that fast boil, that super high heat to sear that beautiful steak in under the amount of time that you normally would have to wait for something to turn over and heat up. So we just wanted to have the competitors go through that so that they feel comfortable when they do get out there because it is very stressful. They've got their mind on other things, especially that clock, you know, scares them a lot. So let's take that one out of the puzzle for them and make them feel as comfortable as we can.
Well, you know, you do need to know how to use the equipment that you have, and you can't expect to go in there cold because equipment's different, and just even know where the timer is or how to turn which works what. I mean, that's time they don't need to spend learning. They should do that ahead of time.
They should all
so they can feel relaxed and just walk in and do their
stuff. Do you like to cook?
Oh yeah, I used to be a chef.
Wait a minute, there was an German. Are you a German boy?
No, I'm actually half Mexican and half English. Okay. But you know, food. I just had that was the first thing that came out. But you know, I love to cook and I love to eat, and that's why I love to cook. Because my mother was a nurse and she would work nights, and I wanted to eat, so I started cooking.
Love it.
So
you know, I think everybody should just try their hand at cooking. I mean, pour a glass of wine. You know, turn on some music or a good show, have some friends over, just put some food together. We're a world who wants everything so fast now, and we're a world that's getting very sick. So the healthier we can become and take a breath, take a minute, and cook from scratch, be a lot more happy people out there.
Absolutely. And you know, you need that time. It's good relaxing time. It's downtime to unwind from your hectic day, and it's time to bond with your family or friends. Yep. And that's the thing that has been missing. You know, we talk about not getting around the dinner table anymore as a family, and that's because we're ordering out.
Yep.
We're going through drive-thrus.
We're opening boxes and just throwing it together. We're putting things in microwaves and just expecting fast. Yeah. And my father is diabetic and he's on dialysis right now. So he's very sick. And, you know, I've kind of watched them over the years with their eating habits. And I was like, you know, I'd love to change that. Even if I got to speak to one person on how you might change your food patterns in life. And you wouldn't believe the outreach of people who love to just cook healthy.
Oh, yeah.
So it helps me that I have a platform like Kenmore, so I can make beautiful dishes for everybody. Simple, easy. We put those on our cookmore.com website. So if you love to cook, you can put a recipe up there, and we'll photograph and put it on our website.
Wonderful. That's a great idea. Yeah, I have recently started eating healthier. I was a follower of Graham Curtis, he was the most dated in America with all his butter and cream. And a couple of years ago, I changed my cooking style, and I've lost weight, and I've started eating healthier and organics.
You feel better, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's the whole point.
Absolutely.
Who wants to feel bad?
No. And you got to think about it, and they'll always tell you, do you want to pay for it now or pay for it later? Because we talk about organics being more expensive and not as easily available, but we're starting to see them in big box stores now at a lower price. So,
and it's true to take that, you can balance it. Life is all about balance. You don't have to go a million miles in the same direction. Take a beat. Take a breath in life.
Take your time. Do something good for yourself. But I think the first step is getting around that in your kitchen, around those wonderful Kenmore appliances.
Yes, absolutely.
And bonding, have the kids make something, have your friends make something, have that glass of wine and talk, and just get back and put the phones away for a while. Yeah,
we started doing that a while ago, where I had this idea of let's bring dinner back to the dinner table. And I wanted to do an ambush type of show where we could go and just teach a family how to cook. There's so many families in need that they're either too busy, or they just don't know, or they don't have the right equipment to do it on. And it would be such a fun thing to go and ambush somebody and say, sit down. We're all going to turn our phones off. We're going to turn our laptops off. We're going to listen to our family talk tonight. We're going to eat a good meal. We're going to feel good about it. Because you'll remember that any day over scrolling through some news feed that you saw that you'll remember anyways.
And it is tough when you start it, and especially with children, it's hard to get them to accept it. But once they start to experience it and enjoy it, then they start to get into it. It's a little bit of a hard sell at first for most people. But once they get back and see that there was life before we were attached to those phones.
Do you have kids?
I have. They're all grown and older, but
they come over and take care and help and all that good stuff.
Everything. I'm kind of like there's no soup for you kind of.
I like it. Love it. Well, I have soup for you today because I'm making some really cauliflower and leek soup.
Well, I'll be by for that.
Yes, 11:30 and 2:30 today, tomorrow, and Sunday we'll be doing demos.
Wonderful.
Yes, so lots of good food.
Well, thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much. I much appreciate it.
It's a pleasure talking to you.
It's so nice and air conditioning in here. Why would I want to go back outside right now?
I know. When they told me they were putting me in here, I was like, okay.
Amen. I'll come back and do them all day long with you.
There you go. All right.
Thank you so much.
Kari.
It was a pleasure.
Take meeting you.
Have a good one.
Thank you. So this has been great. We're talking to, and we're going to be moving along and doing some other shows. Let's see. Okay. I think I shared Chef's tweets earlier for that site again. Great. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. And we are going to be having a fun time here at the World Food Championships, talking to more people. And of course I have to get out and eat too. So that's going to be the best part of the day when we do that. So if you have questions, please feel free to ask them. If anybody wants to jump in, feel free to jump in. Our seat's open. And we're going to move on with some more shows. Do we have anybody else coming in?
I'm still waiting for some responses back.
Okay, no problem. So we're going to shut down now, and I will be back on later on. Thanks for coming in.